Okay, we're gonna make some pad thai noodles with vegetables and chicken. What you're gonna need for the pad thai sauce, if you want to make it yourself, which I think is the way to go, is you're gonna mix some rice vinegar, low sodium soy sauce, some sriracha, and you could also add some peanut butter if you're not allergic to peanuts, obviously, to thicken it up, and brown sugar. So, depending on if you're gonna do a pound of noodles, I'm gonna list all these ingredients in the description. If you're gonna do a pound of noodles, you're probably gonna want to double this amount of sauce, but this will give you the ratio. You want 5 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce, about 8 tablespoons of brown sugar, 3 or 4 tablespoons of rice vinegar, about 1 tablespoon of sriracha, depending on how hot you like it. You can always add more or less, and about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. And what you're going to do is you're going to mix all that together. Then you're going to put it in a container. Just warm it up in the microwave enough that the peanut butter will melt into it. Stir it all together. What I do is I use some of that to marinate, to add to my chicken marinade. For the chicken marinade, I'm going to put in probably a good 1/4 cup of that pad thai sauce, about 1/2 cup of some low sodium soy sauce, maybe some beef broth or some chicken broth, just to give it the volume so it's nice and saturated. Okay, now we got that out of the way. What you're going to need is about 1.5 pounds of chicken, a pound of spaghetti style egg noodles. You're going to need an onion. Small yellow onion will do. Really, you could do whatever vegetables you want. You don't have to be, stick to what I'm doing here. But I also use red bell pepper, a little bit of cilantro, and I really like to put in a few stalks of green onions, some snow peas, and you're also going to add some sesame seeds in, but you don't want to do that until everything's cooked because they will burn. So you're going to first get your chicken marinating. You want to let that marinate for a good 3 hours. And then what you're going to do is get your noodles boiled. I usually boil them for about 7 minutes till they're firm but still kind of soft, because then you're also going to add them to the stir fry. You're going to cook your vegetables first though, so I'll get to those steps later on. Okay, so my noodles are still boiling, and let me turn it down so they don't overflow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start stir frying the vegetables. We're going to stir fry them for about 5 minutes, and only going to turn up the heat about 3/4 of the way. You don't want to cook this too much. So what I did was I added about a teaspoon of salt, a pinch of pepper, and about 3 tablespoons of the pad thai sauce. So we're going to stir fry this for a few minutes, and we're going to shut it off and let it sit. You could do this earlier and then just turn it off, put the lid on it. Doesn't really matter when you do it. You can do it a couple hours beforehand just to get it out of the way so everything's ready. Okay, so I added in the noodles. What I forgot to mention was the quantities for the vegetables. So what I did was I chopped up about 1/2 of a large yellow onion. The green onion, I did 2 full stalks, and I just cut them up with scissors. And I did 1.5 bell peppers, red bell peppers. So I also found realized I had some peas, frozen peas. So I threw in about a cup of those. You can mix in what you want. You can chop up carrots and put them in here. It's going to be good. So my noodles were cooked. I let them drain and cool off. I added them in to the vegetables after I stir fried everything for about 5 minutes. When I put the noodles in, that's when I added that bag that we had sitting in the sesame oil of the peanuts, sesame seeds, and poppy seeds. So what I did was I stir fried that with the noodles for about 3 minutes. And it's only 2 o'clock, so I'm making this for dinner. So it's all ready to go. All I gotta do is deep fry the chicken. I'm gonna dice that up, and I'm gonna add that in, and I'm gonna stir fry it for maybe 5 minutes just to warm it up. And at that point, I'm gonna add the rest of the pad thai sauce in. So I'll get back to you then. All right, so here it is, basically finished. I'm just warming it up. Enjoy.